posting tweets from the Twitter, and they're like, no, that's not how you do it. And I kind of got told off, and I was like, well, how do I do it? Can you tell me? Because I didn't know. So yeah. So anyway, our journey, we started how we started. No one knew who we were. So now we're doing okay. We're working with a lot of different people. We've partnered up with Polygon Studios. We've partnered up obviously with Sofrutix, hosting spaces 7 days a week. We're building and growing, and we host our monthly events where we support the different community, just like what we're doing on Twitter. Is what we're doing in Sierra Leone. We're building relationships. It's literally the same thing. We're just building relationships with people because they've gone through so much and they're not trusting of anyone. So it's just building those building blocks. And where we are now is we got to the point where we're trying to support also our community members. We've got a thing that we're still researching because we want to do it properly, where anyone who owns a certain amount of trogs get put in a liquidity pool, which they pick, the community pick, and they get paid out every 6 months to a year. But I know you have to register. There's quite a few registrations you have to do because you have to do it the right way, not just say, yeah, we're going to do this. But yeah, legally, we have to make sure it's the right way legally before we put it all out there. And we're going to pick like 5 liquidity pools that they're going to be investing in. And they're going to, like I said, we're not going to have no say. They just tell us what to do and we just put the money towards that. Yeah. So we want to give the holders back something. We want it to be like a passive income at the same time whilst we're supporting what we're doing in Sierra Leone in Africa.
Yeah, isn't that Trog VIP?
Yeah, that's the truck VIP. Yeah, so it's a separate channel in the Discord. So, like I said, we didn't have a Discord at all. Now, obviously, we've got like 3 different layers in the Discord. We got like the supporters who basically don't own no truck, but they want to support what we're doing. And then we've got obviously the verified trog, which is people who actually own. They've also got a separate channel, and then we've got the trog VIP who obviously at the VIP. They get to see everything first, like anything we do, they get to vote on everything. They get to vote on the community we go to. They get first pick of everything. So yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, even like from when I started, uh like when we started in the space as number one crypto, just watching you guys grow has been insane. Just how fast you guys grown. And I remember talking to you a couple times on like a call, and you said, the same thing, like, hey man, build your community first. Like, we didn't do that before we started, and now we're doing it now, and it's a struggle. So definitely that was, but it seems like you guys learned from it and you guys are growing from it, and you're not letting it stop you. So I feel like that's something a lot of people should take in perspective, is like, even if you do make a mistake, that shouldn't be, and if it's like, a mistake like that where you have to, because now Trogs put like hours and hours in to try to make up for this community building thing. So I feel like even if it is going to take that long, even if it's going to be a grind, even if it's a mistake like that, just don't give up. I mean, if you're passionate about something and you're really happy about it, I feel like you'll just keep grinding and keep going, even though if it sets you back months. So definitely take perspective from what Trog's doing and where they started and where they are now. So, I mean, if Trog can do it, we can do it. Let's be honest. Go ahead, Trog.
No, seriously, that's really a good point because, like I said, I work full time. Like I'm a deputy head. I have to run a school, and then we're still doing this. Like the community is so amazing. We got so many people who believe in what we're doing and helping. But yeah, definitely don't let just because you made a mistake, don't let that define it. Yeah, we definitely putting in those hours to make up for it. But if we would have done, because like I said, it's not a blueprint. No one knows. Um, if we would have done what we're doing now back then and we would have built, I want to launch a project until I had at least 10,000 followers and built that community and have all these people behind us. If we had that way when we first started, would have been minted out ages ago. But like I keep telling people, to be honest with you, I want the right people to be behind us. And I know that sounds weird, but there's a reason why I say that, because it is going to be a journey what we're doing. It's not trying to change a whole country and bring economical change to a whole country. it's not a small task. Um, and this is the main goal. Yes, it's to build a children's center. Yes, it's to have all that foundation. But the actual main goal of the whole thing is to have a safe place for young people to go. But you have also the post 16 side of things where we're going to be bringing people to the UK in terms of getting them into education, and like swapping, but then also bringing a whole new different market, digital marketing to a country that don't really do digital marketing, that we're training now. We're doing all these different things. We're speaking to companies to bring them on board, to have them employ people from that country and things of that nature, and training those people to also go on Fiverr and Upwork. Because like I said, $100 for them for a month, that's a lot of money. That's life changing for them each month if they can get that. So yeah, small. It's not a small task we've got, and it's going to be for a long term, like a very long time. So yeah, so even because the way we did it, to be honest with you, Zach, even without the NFT, the project is still going to continue. If that makes sense. Not saying obviously the NFT is not, but even without that, we will still continue.
I feel
So
like that's like the passion that we talked about. I think we talked about that yesterday, and we touched on it a little bit today. It's like if you have that passion, if you have that motivation, if you're doing something you truly love as a team or solo, you'll get it done. You don't care. You know, the funding will come, the money will come. Like money, if you're not focused on money, it doesn't matter where you're going. You know, if the money doesn't come, you're not demotivated because you're motivated on what you can do, how you can change the world, how you can complete your mission, how what you're doing will drive you no matter what. The money doesn't matter. So,
yeah,
you know, that's where I think you guys are. And it's amazing to see. And it's just, you guys are doing amazing. So,
we who was I talking to that with? I think it might have been Killer C. It was someone in the Discord today, and we were talking about the grind never ends. And I'm like, you know what? When it's something you enjoy doing, it doesn't feel like work. So I can spend hours and hours in the day doing it. I can work all day, come home, and then do another 4 or 5 hours, and it doesn't feel like work because I enjoy doing it and I see the impact that it's changing people's lives. Like I physically can see the impact. So it doesn't feel like work to me. So yeah.
yeah. And like once you find something you love to do and it doesn't feel like work, I feel like you won, man. Like, um, you know, you're set because you can just do something and not feel bad about anything. Like if it doesn't, you know, if you're not getting paid, it doesn't matter. You love what you're doing. It's like it's
Yeah.
not a hobby, but it's like a passion project, and that's what you really want behind a project. But hey, Gilbert, I saw your hand up. Would you like to comment on anything Trog said? Is he rugging maybe?
You might not have hit the button there, buddy.
Yeah, I can't hear him if he's trying to speak.
You might have to jump out and jump back in, and we'll bring you back up.
That could be it. But anyway, like I feel like I don't know. Passion projects are like if you're doing it not for the money and you're not in it for the money, you'll succeed. It's just a matter of time. And I feel like that's the hardest thing that I feel like everyone deals with is just taking that, is accepting that, okay, this could take a year. You know, a year's a long time if you're building something. But think about it, a year's not a long time if you're doing nothing. So go ahead, Trent.
You know, I was gonna say, look at these big projects that you know what people don't realize, and I've noticed this a lot because obviously Web3, you can see you just track the money, you can see how long things take. People think some of these projects who are minting out straight away, like they're doing it overnight. People don't see the hard graft behind the years that people have spent grafting and perfecting their art and doing the behind the scenes work. Like you don't see that story. You just see a little blog or a little post. Oh yeah, this person's minted out 20,000 or this person's done this, but they don't tell you how those people struggle, how they had to grind it out for years. Like who here can tell me how long did Bored Ape take before they became this successful that they are now? Because they weren't successful before. Go back and look at their stats. Their first year, I think they made what 800,000 or something like that. Like, just go back and look at these big projects. They did not do it overnight. Like it took them a long time, but you never get to see that side of it because you just see the success. Like, oh yeah, they've done this or they've minted out this. Go just do the research. It's literally all there.
One,
You can go ahead, big homie.
Is it me or people look rugged?
I think he meant to
hello?
talk and then he muted.
Nah, my thing was messing up. I didn't know what was going on. Twitter is, oh my goodness. But what I was going to say is when it comes to doing something that you enjoy, you don't worry about time. You know, like when you having a good time, time goes by very, very fast. Like I can be sitting and working on something for probably about like 5 hours and I don't even notice it just because I enjoy doing it.
Like, sorry, I feel like the hardest part about time is like community building, because it's really, you're finding people that have the same passion, have the same, like, yeah, that's awesome. Like finding your people is the hardest part, I guess, is what I was trying to say, not the building part. Of like the, like if it's a game, if it's a project and all that, because I know, we have a lot of artists in our community and they just spend hours and hours just making art, but I feel like the hardest part is finding those people that have that same idea, that same mindset, and like finding your community. So like can take the longest. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Trog.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, yeah, you're definitely right. Like for me, what I'm looking for now is, like I said yesterday, is people with the same ethos, the same mindset, like people who want to help each other out and support each other. Those are the people we look for. People who want to basically make the world a better place. One step at a time. It's not a quick fix. Um, and I see a lot of people who are doing that. Like anyone who's about me, my project, my project, my project, my project. That's good. Have a nice day. Uh, that's me. Like I'm not involved. But if you're here, I see you supporting other people. I see you doing other people. Like literally, like for example, what I see Killer C and that the whole community that they're building over there. Like I keep saying, like I even went in there today, and I was like, wow. Like I was checking out their Discord and stuff, and the amount of I think they got like 50 collabs kind of thing with all loads of different people, like all supporting each other. I was like, Jesus Christ. But that's what I'm talking about. It's not just about their project. They've got their own project, but they're supporting other people coming through. Hence the whole the collective club. Like it's those are the people I'm looking for. I'm looking for people who are trying to support each other. Like people don't even know. Zach, obviously you know quite a lot what we do in the back end. People don't even know that we've linked people up with Polygon Studios. As soon as we got accepted and we found out how people can get accepted, I started DMing people straight away saying, okay, this is what you need to do. This is the paperwork you need. To the point where I'm even doing people's paperwork for them. Literally, me and my wife was spending our weekend, helping other people and doing their paperwork, their whitelist, their like everything. Like when I mean everything from the deck to the white paper to everything, doing it for them. I don't know these people, but I see what they're doing and I see it's really good what they're doing. So we'll support them. And this is why I always say there's strength in numbers. Like when we go through the door, we're going to hold that door open. I'm going to drag people along with us and say, yeah, come this way. This is what you need to do to get in here. That's how it works. Like trying to do this solo thing is, yeah, it's not going to work. But anyway, let me stop ranting.
I've been trying to throw up my emojis for you, buddy, but now it's going to work, of course. But they just aren't working today for like I want. But you're right, 100%. And I think we need to quit trying to sell so much as just try to get right now. We don't have mass adoption yet. When that comes in, we're going to be very, very happy, especially if we've grown a big community like I think we're building together here in these spaces. And when the mass adoption comes, we're going to be able to help each other out as far as the flow of the influx. Because I don't know, I know Safruti, he kind of runs the store. Have you ever had like a big flow all at one time and you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Because you're there alone and you don't have no help. That's what's going to happen here. You're going to be slammed. So you're going to want to point to other people to try to relieve some of that. I swear. I know it sounds crazy, but you got like 7 billion people almost on this planet. we only have maybe, and I use these numbers, I have no clue, but I'm going to guess around 100,000 people tops in the NFT industry right now. What happens when we have a million, 2, 3 million people jump in all at once? We are going to be hurt and slam busy. So we're going to need each other. We're going to have to know each other's projects and whatnot to point these people in the right directions. That's what I see, and that's what I'm trying to build and learn. And the reasons I go to these different spaces that I have no clue about gaming. I'm not a gamer, but I want to learn it for a few reasons. For one, I'm because of my role in NFT talk, but because when we do get that influx, I want to be one of the people that can point fingers at the right people. I don't want to point people at, to the wrong people and have them get scammed, and then that comes back on me. Yeah, big homie, go ahead, buddy.
Oh yeah, man. Like you saying, like y'all gonna have a whole bunch of like heat come towards y'all. Y'all gonna have a lot of work that you're gonna have to do, and coming from that, it's gonna lead to a lot of promotion. You're gonna want a lot of people in your community. You're gonna want people to do this. Like when I joined yesterday, I have no clue who anybody is in here, but meeting and hearing you guys speak made me realize how much of cool people you are and where you guys are headed in the position you're trying to go within your work. And like I'm more into the gaming production, but I would definitely love to learn along the way of what like NFTs are, or like learn more about like cryptocurrencies and things of that nature. So like as long as people want to learn and join and be on the same path as y'all, there should be like no problem with getting yourself out there.
We'll be putting everybody out there, and it's happening now. If you go into some of these spaces and the people that's hosting know your project, they automatically start to, hey, this person does this, this, and this. And that's what I'm talking about, point figures. I'm not saying, well, you want to go to him. I'm saying when these people come in, we already know them. We already know their project and what they're about. So we start talking about them. I know I do in my space, and I see it in a bunch of the other spaces. They don't have to grind and shield so much because we do it for them as hosts, and we just ask them, hey, how you doing? It becomes a social thing at that point, and that's what selling is all about. And you ask, basically my story. My story is 20 years in the IRL art world. I got pieces all over the world, and what I've learned is your community is how you sell. You're not going to just sell out there on your own that great. Most of my sales came from actually talking to people at the galleries, at the events and whatnot. And I've been in some pretty awesome events that had a lot of people. And it doesn't matter how many people were at that event. If you weren't social, if you didn't get to talk to the people, you usually didn't sell. Sometimes you did, and that's what we're seeing here. Sometimes you do sell, and that's great. We want people to sell, but we also want to build the community and just use each other for strength. Go ahead, Trog. I'm sorry.
No, I was actually going to say what you just spoke about is actually what we've done, and that's how we've grown. Like when we were hosting spaces, it got so bad we didn't even, for weeks or months, we didn't even speak about drugs. People were coming in and speaking about us. We weren't even speaking about us. We were getting told off. Like, why are you not talking about you? We were so busy supporting other people, we forgot about speaking about us. And the number one for that was Crypto Papa. Uh, um, and he was just like, I'm fine. If you're not going to talk about drugs, I'm going to talk about drugs. I use my time to talk about drugs. But that's the relationships you build. Like, because half of the people who, I'll say probably 25% of the people who come in our spaces, I know their project inside out. So I literally speak about their project. Like, for example, Zach, you can attest to this. Metacarpus. Metacarpus comes in. He doesn't like talking about his projects. He will talk about everyone else's project. He will support so many other people. He won't talk about his project. So then I'll talk about his project because I know his project inside out. I'll be like, well, as well, this is what he does. He supports his people. But that's all the part of building together and growing together. That's it right there. So just to just say what you're talking about. Yeah. I know exactly what you mean because you don't want to point people to the wrong people who are rug pull. And because then you be labeled with that person. For example, we sent someone, we vouched for someone to say, yeah, go to that person. That person supports us. And then when we send it to the person ended up charging them, and we're like, why are you charging this person? And then we had to get involved, saying, don't do that, because we sent them to you. You didn't charge us. Why are you charging that person? That's not nice. But yeah, when you send someone to the wrong person, it becomes a backlash to you. Like, and we had to literally deal with that for a whole month. We had to try and sort it out just because we sent someone to someone else. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
it'll kill your reputation real quick, and that's why we also got to be cautious of our collaborations. I love collaborations, but again, from the IRL world, some of the people we may collab with are not all that good for us. So just be careful there. Make sure what you're getting into and know what you're getting into. You should, and again, this comes with passion. You should collab with people that you're passionate about their project, because then you feel more secure about it. And of course, do your research on the project. I've seen a few people jump into some collabs and they got hurt because the other person isn't around no more. They did the collab and took off and whatnot. So yeah, it may hurt you, but a lot of times it can help. You just want to do your research.
100%. I don't know if you noticed, Zach, we don't like when we partner up with Safrujas, obviously we done our research on each other. And we're like, yeah, same ethos, same people. And like I said, to me, like crypto folks, like I seem like a bigger brother. Like he advised me, like he would tell me off when I'm doing he thinks I'm doing something wrong. And I'll listen. Like I'll genuinely listen. We've never ever met, ever. But he's such a man with a good heart. Like you can just tell. You can tell, like you can just when people are faking it, when people are real, man. Like you can only fake it for so long. Like, and he's one of the good guys, man. Seriously. And for me, I really don't do collab or partners like until we're fully docs. Like that person has to be fully docs. I have to know that person. I have to spoke to that person like several times and research each other before, because like you said, it really can damage your reputation and what we're trying to build. And I know people have been annoyed with us in the past for not collabing with them and stuff, and I have to explain to them what we're trying to build is so important. Like we've got so many kids and family depending on us. I can't, it's not up to me. We have to literally vote on stuff before we go ahead. Like it's not just down to one person, and there's a reason for that. But yeah, you can damage your reputation 100%.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I'm cautious about who I bring in for our official NFT Talk interviews. I try to get to know them, and I tell everybody when I come into the space and I'm talking to the space, I want to get people to know people personally, because that does help me figure out who is worth collaborating with, worth bringing in, because we usually do 2 interviews at a time in our interviews, and they get put on a different platform. So if we got one that's a scam or ends up being a scam, it makes the other interviewer look bad because they're on the same recording. So we really have to be, not just for ourselves and our reputation, because we are a real IRL business out of California, but because of our artists. We don't want to hurt the people we're trying to help by bringing in somebody that's not on the right side of the of what we're doing. So I try to be real cautious. Again, I can't like completely dox. I there may be some later on that end up being rug pulls or scams or whatnot, but I really try hard to bring in the right kind of people to do the interviews, and this is why. So they're just a little bit more tidbits for everybody. Just watch what you're doing. There are some, and that's something that we should do a room on, and things that we should work on is how to dox and how to tell these apart, because I don't see a whole lot going on. So I know there's a few hosts here that do big rooms. Would that be something that you guys would be willing to dip your fingers in and try to work through and help people out with? You know what I mean? Because I think it's really needed in these spaces.
You know what? Hey, Zach, what did I just send you today?
He
That's,
sent me yeah. He sent me a topic idea to talk about rug pulls.
that's literally what I just sent Zach today. I was like, yeah, this needs to be a topic, because I've noticed a trend happening where new people who are coming to the spaces are buying into a lot of these rug pull projects, and people don't realize that they're rug pull and things like that, because not everyone knows how to do research. When we're telling people do your research, for example, there's a project who got in touch with me, and they're verified on OpenSea. It's an ETH project, and they've sold a lot. But all you have to do is just follow the money, follow the trail, follow the wallet. I noticed the pattern. There was like 10 different wallets, and they kept buying up and selling to each other. So that boosts the price up. So I called them out. I messaged them and I said, this is what I've noticed, like what you guys are doing, and it's obviously it's not illegal because they're doing it, but it's morally it's wrong because you're hiking your floor and making it feel like it's something and it's not. And the poor people who've gone and bought into it, they were even selling for like 1 ETH. Like each one was going for like 1 ETH, and people were buying into it. And I thought, these poor people, all they had to do is just check the wallets. Literally, just go into the wallets, and you can see the majority of the wallets were on you, and just follow the money. But yeah, apparently their comeback was, this is what everyone's doing. And I was like, well, sorry, that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're about. Have a nice day. So you just really be careful, man.
Does everyone remember their first rug pull? I can tell you mine. My first rug pull was this thing called Hash Demons, I believe. I still have the NFT. Let me look it up real fast. Go ahead, Galactic. I see you had your hand up first.
No, Simon did. I'll let him go. I'm fair.
Yeah, Simon had her hand up first.
Yeah, you go first.
Hello, guys.
Go ahead, buddy.
Hello.
Yep, we hear you.
Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, guys? Hello.
Hear you.
Go ahead, Simon.
Okay, guys. I love your space. It's awesome. It's organized and everything. I really love it. I think, can you hear me?
You're breaking up, bro. You're breaking up. Your signal's bad.
We hear you, but your stuff is
Okay,
like
okay.
it's like you're going in and out. You're going in and out.
Okay, as I was saying, I was saying I love your space, but I had a question here, right? Like, oh, really? Okay, okay. So let me fix it. Let me fix it. Let me fix
What's your
it a little
question,
bit.
Simon?
I was asking in terms of collaboration, right? Like, what are the signs, the areas that you need to look for when you want to collab with a new project or something like that?
For me, I don't collab with anyone that's not doxed. First and foremost, like I don't do that. That's my first. That's me personally. I don't do that. I don't know about other people, but I need to speak with you. I need to know your docs. I need to know who you are. Like I said, if you do a rug pull, that's my reputation gone. So everything that I've tried to build for months down the toilet. So I don't take that risk at all. That's the first thing I look for. And then the second thing I look at your